All right, let's move on to a new segment. So the segment is called the Hang Jury, because not the Hung Jury, it's the Hang Jury, because this is a hangout.
Uh,
So that's
Oh, I get it now. Oh my God. Once again, I'm an idiot.
but none of us are being
okay. Hung? I don't know. No.
are going to the gallows, right?
No. It's more. I picked a controversial topic and one that will hopefully get strong opinions, and we're gonna have a couple minutes to talk about it. And I think the big thing this week was with WWDC was liquid glass. So the topic is Apple's liquid glass capitulation or maturity. So last year Apple introduced that, debuted that. Was a sweeping, translucent UI design. They called it delightful and elegant. And when it actually shipped, and I think we all know that, it wasn't that good. There was a lot of backlash, very intense backlash sometimes, like Reddit, of course, especially Apple support communities, podcasts, blogs. Everybody was basically bagging on it. And this Monday, Apple actually acknowledged that feedback and said it deeply appreciated it. And announced a slate of changes coming to iOS, or in iOS 27 and in macOS Big Bridge or Golden Gate, actually. So the hang jury question for us today is this Apple at its best, listening, iterating, maturing a bold vision, or is it an admission that they shipped a broken design and forced it on a billion users for a year? Discuss.
Why not both?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's not mutually exclusive.
No, it doesn't have to be. But why? I mean, why do you think it's both?
All right, they shipped a broken design, forced it on billions of users.
Yeah, which is bad.
Which is bad, and then they iterated and improved on the vision that they had for the broken interface that they dropped on us.
Yeah.
So it started with broken design, then went on to we didn't do this as well as we should have. So let's put a good spin on us fixing our screw up.
Yeah.
And but the bigger
but did they actually fix it?
Well, I think it's a lot better.
It is better, but it's also like, I don't think they really fixed it. They never fixed their initial decision. They just said, oh, here's a slider. If you don't like it, change it.
All right, good point. You have now convinced me it's not truly fixed.
Yeah.
But they have made an improvement.
Yes.
To a design that needed a lot more refinement before it shipped last year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I've got to say, there is in this whole argument, there's a lack of tolerance of, when will it actually be right? Well, when I say it's right, that's when it's right.
Yeah.
And you're not the only. I am not the only voice in here.
Mm-hmm.
So Apple is always going to get this type of criticism,
True.
And they'll adjust from the criticism. So I don't think it's incompetence on Apple's part. I think they're putting stuff out there, they're making adjustments, and you know what? There are going to be people who say it's still not right.
No, that's true.
They've gotten it correct
because it's different.
And when they finally are satisfied or they've run out of air, they will move on to the next thing that they can complain about. That's part of Apple's design or Apple's software.
Yeah, no, that is absolutely true. I mean, it's like there's some people where the fact that it's changing is already like the biggest problem, and that will never go away. And if they ever get used to it, then there's a new thing that they don't like, and it's just gonna continue. That's true. But I still think I'm like there were a lot of very glaring problems last year, like the corner radiuses in macOS, for example. macOS had a very horrible implementation of liquid glass. Actually, on the phone it was better than on macOS. Mm-hmm. They fixed that, so it's not just the slider.
Mac was an afterthought.
The Mac maybe wasn't an afterthought, but it didn't get as much attention as the other platforms did.
Marty, I think you're partly right with what you just said. I mean, haters are going to hate, and the people that don't like change are always going to complain. and people that want it to be just their way will never be satisfied. Absolutely true.
Yeah.
Where Apple totally stumbled and I think showed at least a modicum of incompetence is with the way they implemented liquid glass. No, let me come into that sentence from a different angle. Apple implemented liquid glass in such a way that it created visibility problems for a significant number of users.
Yeah.
There were issues with contrast. There were issues with just overall readability. It was suddenly difficult for people to see where buttons were
Mhm.
or what was on a button. And if you have a significant vision impairment, it became a problem just to use the core interface.
Yep.
And that was something that never should have made it out of the Apple Labs in that state. Someone somewhere along the way should have said, "Hey, we need to look at accessibility with this," and immediately there should have been people that said, "Oh, we have a big problem here.
Mhm.
We need to make some changes before this can actually ship. This is not a truly usable interface." Even though for a significant number of people, yeah, they can use it, it's still not a truly usable interface. We're getting closer this year, but I
Yeah.
think that there's still a lot of improvement that needs to
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah, but I mean that's
I
also
think it's
normal, right?
Yeah.
I think it's telling that Apple just let Alan Dye walk for Meta.
It's true.
Yeah, and then we're immediately seeing interface changes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, as someone who was not affected by the liquid glass controversy, I mean, okay, yeah, some things changed. I didn't find it this horrible, super distracting thing. Maybe I'm not detail oriented enough to look at some of the other issues there. The accessibility thing, there was definitely a drop ball, no question about it. But so many of the complaints that I was reading back then, and even now in places, are coming from people that really don't have accessibility issues.
Mhm.
It's just like they just feel like they don't like change.
Yeah.
The
And so,
complainers
you know,
everybody
this-
was talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we can go the whole way back to, you know, when we went from System 9 over to System 10, or
Wait,
as
the
we now know.
you mean the lickable
macOS.
design?
Yeah, the lickable design. I know, and like, oh my
Yes,
God, this
yes.
you know, this is how am I
Yeah,
gonna
the
ever get any
complaint.
work done on this? And you know, so people just, you know, they don't like change.
Mhm.
I again, I think it's great. I think, Patrice, your breakdown of it is perfect. No, the two aren't mutually exclusive, but I feel like it was a lot more the first one, that, you know, they shipped something, they got feedback, they listened, they've adapted,
Mhm.
you know, and they're going to get more feedback, and there may
Yeah.
be more
Yeah.
adaptations to make now.
Mhm. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
think I
mean,
agree.
the iOS 7 design language took a couple iterations to fully get right as well.
Yeah. I think
You know,
every
same with
design language so far
Yeah.
we've had, none of them were perfect day one.
Yeah, same with Aqua, same with Platinum, same with skeuomorphism. It's
Yeah.
you know, you nothing's ever gonna be perfect. You ship it out the best that you can, and then you find out how it works in the real world and you adjust.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, the
I'm
fact that
waiting
Apple,
for the complaints.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for the complaints to start rolling in about the parental safety stuff. I think that'll be the next big target.
yes.
Oh
Oh.
God.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
true. So
My
true.
my preteen nephew is already complaining.